Welcome to Essential Dialogues. We're diving into a story today surrounding the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia.
CBE.
CBE, yeah, for short.
Yeah.
And they're making some pretty big moves, and it's got everyone talking, especially kind of in the world of African finance.
Yeah, it's really interesting. CBE is already the biggest player in Ethiopia's banking scene, and now they're adding an investment bank to that.
That's a pretty big deal, right? Like, it's not every day that you
Oh, yeah,
see
not at all.
a bank that's already, the dominant force sort of decide to make a move like that.
It's a sign of a lot of confidence
Yeah.
in the market and the direction that things are going.
So for our listeners who, kind of follow these trends, this is big news.
Yeah.
But for those of us who don't spend, all day on Wall Street, what does this actually mean? What's an investment bank?
So basically, an investment bank is like a financial matchmaker. They connect companies that need money to grow with investors who are looking for opportunities to make a profit. They also help companies merge, acquire other businesses, and just kind of navigate all the complexities of finance.
So it's like taking things to a whole new level.
Yes. Definitely high stakes, high reward stuff.
So why would a commercial bank want to kind of jump into this world of investment banking? What's the motivation there?
Well, it's a global trend. We're seeing commercial banks all over the world kind of dip their toes into investment banking.
Oh, interesting.
It's about diversifying their services, tapping into new revenue streams, and really just trying to stay ahead of the curve because the financial landscape is changing so rapidly.
It's like a tech company deciding to, branch out into AI or something like that. It's about staying relevant.
Absolutely.
But CBE isn't just following a trend here, right?
Yeah.
They're doing this in a place where things are changing pretty rapidly as well.
You're exactly right. There's been this regulatory shift in Ethiopia recently. The National Bank of Ethiopia, which is like their central bank, issued a new directive
Oh, wow.
that allows commercial banks to now own shares in capital market service providers.
So they've kind of opened the door.
Exactly. It's a big signal that Ethiopia is really serious about developing its capital market and attracting more investment.
And so we've got this major bank, we've got this regulatory shift, we've got a big name leading the charge. It seems like things are about to get pretty interesting in the African financial landscape.
It's definitely a story to watch.
Yeah, this is one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back after a short break.
Welcome back to Essential Dialogues. We spent part one talking about, the big picture of CBE's move into investment banking.
Right.
But now let's get into the details.
Yeah, let's talk about what this could actually mean for Ethiopia.
Yeah, what's the impact going to be?
What are we going to see?
So think about the sectors that are already primed for growth in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Manufacturing is a huge opportunity.
Right.
They've got a young workforce, which is a major plus.
Yeah, you need people to actually do the manufacturing, so.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then there's agriculture, which has always been, central to Ethiopia's economy.
It's huge.
But imagine if they had even more investment in things like modernization technology.
Yeah, like bringing it into the, 21st century.
Exactly. It could be a huge boost to their productivity.
So CBE's investment bank could be the bridge that connects, farmers with the resources they need to kind of make that leap.
That's the idea. And then we have infrastructure.
Right. Roads, power, all that good stuff.
As Ethiopia keeps developing, they're going to need better roads, more reliable energy sources, better telecom networks.
All the things that a modern economy needs.
All the things that help an economy thrive.
So it sounds like this could really be a catalyst for a lot of positive change.
There's a lot of potential, but of course we have to be realistic. Rapid growth can sometimes come with risks.
Right. It's not always a good thing to grow too quickly.
Exactly. There can be some instability.
And also, you don't want to become too dependent on foreign investment.
Right. You need a good balance.
Got to make sure the growth is sustainable, benefits everyone.
Yeah.
Now, stepping back a little bit, how do you see CBE's entry into this world impacting the bigger picture in Africa? I mean, Africa's financial market's already pretty dynamic, right?
Absolutely. We've seen incredible growth and innovation across Africa in finance in recent years.
Yeah. There's a lot happening there.
New players, emerging existing institutions are growing, so CBE's not entering a quiet market.
Yeah, they're going to have to compete.
But they do have some advantages.
Like what?
Well, they know the Ethiopian market better than anyone.
Right, they're already there.
They've got those relationships with local businesses that's really valuable.
So they're not starting from scratch.
Not at all. Plus, they're already a major player in the financial world. They've got the resources to make a big impact.
So they're coming in with some serious firepower.
Exactly. And this move shows that they're thinking ahead. They're ready to adapt, which is crucial in today's world.
So CBE is coming in strong, but how do you think the existing players are going to react?
I think we're going to see some real competition heat up.
Makes sense.
The established investment banks are going to be watching CBE very carefully.
Oh, yeah, trying to protect what they've built.
Exactly. But this competition could actually be a good thing.
How so?
It could push everyone to innovate more, offer better services, maybe even better deals for everyone involved.
So it could raise the bar for the whole market.
That's the hope.
So we've talked about the potential benefits, the risks, the competitive landscape, and the potential for collaboration.
Right.
But zooming out again, this move by CBE is part of a much bigger trend, right? Commercial banks are moving into investment banking all over the world.
It's a global phenomenon.
So why are we seeing this? What does it tell us about where finance is headed?
Well, technology is changing everything. Globalization is changing everything.
All new world.
The financial sector is evolving so fast, and the lines between types of institutions are getting blurrier.
So commercial banks are trying to adapt.
Exactly. They're looking for new opportunities, new ways to make money, and investment banking is a logical next step.
It's got that global reach. It's got the potential for big returns.
And we've seen other big players do it successfully. JP Morgan, Chase, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup. They all have commercial and investment banking arms.
So CBE is in good company.
Absolutely. But what's really interesting is how they're adapting this trend to the African context.
They're not just copying what everyone else is doing.
They're finding their own path.
So if this trend continues, what do you think the future holds for banking? Are we going to see more and more institutions offering everything from, basic checking accounts to complex investment products?
It's definitely possible the lines are getting blurred. We might even see entirely new types of financial institutions emerge.
It's like the whole world of finance is converging.
In a way, it is.
But that also sounds like it could be risky.
There are definitely potential downsides. All this interconnectedness could make the system more vulnerable.
So it's a trade-off.
As with most things.
Got to find the right balance.
Exactly. Embrace the innovation, but manage the risks.
This has been a really fascinating look at CBE's move into investment banking.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, and it's clear there's still a lot to learn and analyze.
This is just the beginning.
All right, so we're back, and we've spent the last 2 parts of this deep dive really digging into CBE's move into investment banking.
We have.
We've talked about all kinds of things, the potential impacts, the risks, the trends, even what this could mean for, the future of finance.
The whole landscape, yeah.
But now it's time to kind of step back and try to, put it all together.
Make sense of it all.
So what does this all mean for CBE, for Ethiopia, and really for Africa as a whole?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that CBE's move is a huge signal.
A signal of what?
It shows that they're committed to innovation. They're willing to embrace these global trends, and they believe in Ethiopia's potential.
It's like they're saying, we're not just playing in the local market anymore.
Exactly. They're ready to compete on a global stage.
And they're not just jumping in, unprepared. They're coming in with experience. They're coming in with resources.
They've got a deep understanding of the local market.
So they're not messing around.
Not at all.
And then there's the potential benefits for Ethiopia, right? We talked about increased investment, job creation, growth in key sectors.
Manufacturing, agriculture, infrastructure.
There's a lot of potential there.
They could really transform things.
But we also talked about the risks, right? Growth can be a double-edged sword.
You have to be careful. Too much too fast can be destabilizing.
And you don't want to become too reliant on foreign investment.
Right. It has to be sustainable. It has to benefit everyone.
So there's a real balancing act here.
Absolutely.
CBE's taking a big risk, but it could pay off in a huge way.
It's a bold move.
It's a story about ambition. It's about innovation. It's about how finance is changing in our world.
And ultimately, it's a story about Ethiopia's future.
It's a story that's just getting started.
We're just at the beginning.
And as it unfolds, we hope our listener will kind of keep thinking about the questions we've raised.
Like what?
How will CBE balance its local focus with its global ambitions? How will it navigate this complex, African financial market?
Right.
And most importantly, how will it all contribute to sustainable growth in Ethiopia?
Those are the big questions.
Those are the questions that matter.
The ones that will shape what happens next.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive into CBE's move into investment banking.
We've covered a lot of ground.
And we've only just scratched the surface. But Hopefully our listeners now have a better understanding of what's happening.
And what it all means.
And as this story develops, we'll be here to break it all down for you.
Absolutely.
So stay engaged, stay curious, keep those questions coming, and of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Essential Dialogues for more deep dives into the topics that are shaping our world.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.